Hi everyone, it's Melissa here and I'm really excited to be back on the Scrappery channel. I've had several months off from designing for the Scrappery, but I'm back and I'm really excited. So what I'm working with is the latest kit, which is called Violet, and it is based on the Coco Vanilla Studio Bohemian Dream collection. And for my first layout I have this photo of Ava and I. Now Ava has been neglected in the scrapbooks, and I had her, well, she is tomorrow going to be 11 months old, so I had her nearly a year ago. And I'll tell you what the problem is. It's not because I don't love scrapbooking her, it's because I just adore babies so much, and I almost feel like I can't do her justice, which sounds stupid because I've done heaps of layouts about all my kids. And so anyway, she's been missing out. She doesn't have a voice to say, hey mum, why are you not scrapping me? So I want to get on and scrap her, and I thought this collection would be beautiful to start with. So for this very first layout, of course all the things are available to me and I find that difficult. The first cut is definitely the hardest. That's my little saying about starting with a new kit is difficult. But so what I thought I'd do was be inspired by the collection itself. I absolutely adore this 3x4 card with the flowers over the watercolour background. So that's my inspiration. I have pulled this piece called Flower Child, and so I'm going to have to sacrifice the B side, but that's okay. We've got to get over it and just work with it. And what I'm wanting to do is create that look. So what I'm thinking is I will have my photo around about there, and then I have pulled from the kits. I've put all the kits together this time. I haven't kept them separate. I've got the flare, the enamel dots, and the rhinestones. I just thought I'd show you those. I might use some of the other ones too, the other rhinestones. And then in here I have pulled a whole lot of florals and a couple of die cuts, but mostly florals and leaves. And I've got the vellum. I've got vellum in here as well, so from the ephemera pack and the vellum pack. And what I want it to do. Sorry, this will be a bit disjointed because I just had one of the kids come in and they didn't realise what I was doing. So, so what I'm intending on doing is having those florals come down like on the cut apart. So I'm just going to move them off, and I'm going to use my Silhouette Cameo, and I'm going to create a white frame. Now, this is not my idea at all. I watched a layout that Elsie Robinson, who's Hey Elsie on YouTube, she made it, and she had a frame around the edge with white cardstock, and then she overlaid a cut file on top of it. And so I'm going to have a go at doing that, but I'm going to make mine a little bit different. So what I'll do is use some foam like this and cut it, and then pop it up so that it will be raised with everything else inside. And then I did think about having the floral part come over the frame and down, or under, I'm not quite sure yet, but I intend on using quite a lot of dimension in here so it looks like it's real. So yeah, that's my plan. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I had a lot of trouble with this video. I had filmed me taking the frame that I made off my silhouette mat, and then I doodled with a pencil just squiggly lines, and then I pierced holes, and then I hand stitched with purple thread. Now I had that for you, and I don't know what's happened, but we've had major internet problems and upload problems, and I couldn't get my videos off my phone and onto my Mac. It's been ridiculous, right when I needed this to be done, which is why this is only uploading today. Well, later today. It's due today and I'm late. But anyway, so that's what you've missed. And then you would have seen the frame there, so I've just added glue, and I have glued it onto that pattern paper that I'm using for my background. So then I had a tiny rip on the, you can see it there on the top right corner, and so I've had to change the way I was going to have I think I was going to have these stripes go horizontal, but I'm now having them go vertical because I want to cover that rip with the flowers. So I'm using that big doily, and I needed some pattern paper just to break up all the white in the background, and also to provide a visual separation between the white of my photo around the edge and the doily. I tried the smaller doily, but it didn't work that well. Now this, if you watched my kit reveal, or unboxing. That is the doily that was ripped or slightly creased from the mail. And so you can see there it looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So I didn't need to throw it away or only use part of it. I've used the whole thing. So now I am making my, I guess it's a cluster flowing down of flowers. And what I use to start with is liquid adhesive, but then I realised that it's just not going to cut it and I will get my glue gun. So at this point I'm thinking, yeah, liquid adhesive is the way to go. But I just think that because of the stitching and also the fact that there's a step down from that foam, that I need something a bit more powerful. And I don't usually use my glue gun, but after this I'm thinking maybe I'll use it more. Some of these flowers needed adhesive, dimensional adhesive, just to provide some lift when they are in the on the background paper, just to provide a step down from between the frame and the flatness of the pattern paper, if you get what I mean. So it's quite dimensional, this layout, and I'm not sure if I show it all, but I do go through and lift up and put dimensional adhesive under some of the leaves. Not the vellum ones, because you'd be able to see it, but the ones that are cardstock. And so I even found that I could use hot glue on the vellum pieces and they were totally fine. I didn't go overboard. I would just put some on the stem and then tuck it under. So yeah, super fast. If only it took if only my scrapbooking was this quick. So at this point I need to bring my photo in and even surprise myself and went for hot glue on the doily. And I wanted to tuck it in under the flowers and the leaves, or the leaves, just as I'd done there. Now, one thing about hot glue that I'd forgotten about is you get all these threads. Some did get on my photo, and I've cut this out of the video, but it was a bit scary, but I managed to pull them off. This is a photo of Ava and I at the park, and it's a selfie on my iPhone. I've got iPhone 7 Plus, so reverse camera still doesn't have the best quality photo, and because I print at home, my photo quality isn't outstanding either, but it's good enough. So in the close-ups at the end, if it looks a bit not as good a quality, that's why, because reverse camera, you're never going to get the best photo anyway, but still I'm happy with it. So here I'm just positioning more, and then I used liquid adhesive on that tab. I think it just says captured. And I didn't want to take the flowers too low, or the leaves too low, because then it was going to cut into my photo. So that, I think, with the exception of tucking a few little bits in like that leaf, that is the extent of the kind of flowing bouquet. These are the chipboard. I didn't think about using them until I got into making this. So I'm using a couple of the hearts, quite subtle because there is so much going on and so much colour with all those flowers, but I'm really loving how this turned out. So I've added a blue one, a pink one. These are the labels. They come in the main TSK scrapbooking kit, and so I'm just fussy cutting them out. You could use a hole punch and punch the edges of these corners, but I'm just happy to do it just by hand. And then these are the thickers that come in the kit. They're by Dear Lizzie, and I just adore the colour. And I'm calling it Sweetness because that's something I call her. And I knew that it wasn't going to fit across the entire area that I have left to be able to put my title. So I just went with a double title. I'm not even putting a hyphen in. I know what it means. You can see what it means, or you can read it. So this little tag I'm wanting to put my journaling on, so I'm just tucking it under, adding some liquid adhesive. This is probably one of the first layouts I haven't used any double-sided tape. I just find liquid adhesive so much easier, and I know for sure that it's going to stick forever. And then I just put there a little note to her, how much I love her. There's no big story that goes with this photo. It's just a really sweet photo of us. And like I said, her scrapbook's been neglected, so I'm so glad to get one done for her. Just trimming off the excess because I do want to put it in a page protector. If I was going to leave this as a home decor piece, I'd probably leave it, but I like how that looks. And then I just want to bring a little bit more embellishment down here to the bottom. And so I've added the flower. I'm not wanting to overdo it. I did want to use one of these flare badges because they are so lovely, and I think that says you're amazing. And they stick really well. You don't need to add any more adhesive. And then adding some of these enamel hearts and dots, just 3 in that position and another 3 in the position where I'm putting them now. Did think about adding some more, but I think it would have been too much. I don't think you always have to do the law of threes or design rule of threes. I love that bird. That bird is in so many elements in this collection, and so I've added him with the Hello Beautiful tag. Brielle's just given me the mail from today. And my final touch is to add in some Mr. Huey's in opaque white, and I love that subtle splattery look that it gives it. So that is my layout. I hope you enjoyed it. I did go back in and add the date, and here I'm just adding, like I said, some dimension where I need to. And so that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this layout. I'm so glad to be back designing for the Scrappery, and I will see you again next week. Have an awesome week.